Aquarius, how are you and welcome. So someone's very welcoming someone and saying thank you very much and you're very much welcome. Okay, so someone's giving someone advice or something like that and saying, oh thank you, you're very welcome, thank you. But advice, I'm hearing an advisor or advising someone in certain ways, okay? Or the name Vanessa or Visor, okay? Or a miser, someone that won't let somebody in, because I'm picking up what turned over, which was the Four of Pentacles. Something like none the wiser. But I just predicted a load of stuff for myself. Please do not skip off the channel. Please try to just give it time, okay? It just really does help if you can try and remain consistent with the actual video instead of trying to like come in and then go off or skip through, okay? So it really does help if you can remain consistent with the video. But your channel messages had a lot to do with basically a prediction that I've come up with myself that's actually annoying me. It's the CPAP that's turned up for me, but I know damn well that's going to be a topic of discussion of someone that I don't want in my life. Okay, and you have got that. You've gone and got this topic of discussion and being a main one, but then you've also got someone that's trying to use this topic of discussion in order to get back into your circle or your life. And it's someone that you may not want in it. And it might be a Stephen, or it might be a Stephen King, or it might just be me and I'm predicting something for myself. But that's what's very confusing for me, is that I'm not confused, it's just a premonition that I had for myself. This CPAP is going to cause a lot of trouble, and it's going to be around someone that I do not want to talk to about it. This person's going to think that that's a leeway back into making a conversation, and that's not what I want, okay? So, sorry, but that is also one for me. But don't worry about it, Aquarius. I just know, when you predict something for yourself and you know it, you just know what's going to happen. Right, so we're going to leave it at that. So let's see what's going to happen for your July 2021. Okay, so Aquarius, so you could be dealing with something that's worrying you. It might be sleep apnea. You might have sleep apnea or something about CPAP or sleep app or destructive sleep pattern is what I'm hearing. Or you or your partner is worried at the moment about something. Okay, there's I keep hearing a whirring noise, like a, it might even be a CPAP, but like a whirring noise. Now, if that's a vibrator of any sort, I don't really know, but I'm hearing a whirring noise. Okay, but I'm feeling that there's this energy of like something to do with around destructive sleep apnea or like destructive sleep. Now you might be very interested in sleep study, in dream study, in a dream. Oh, this isn't actually called that, but I think one of them is called something dreams. Yeah, they keep saying dreams, dreamy. Ice cream, dreaming about ice cream. I keep hearing I'm just dreaming about ice cream, or ice cream, or like somebody, this might not be you, might get up late at night and goes and raids the fridge, because I'm hearing the raiders, which would be, what do you call it, or the raiders. Hopefully no one's getting raided, but I'm hearing Gatorade, or like someone that drinks a lot of like those very sugary type sort of like Gatorade, or like what do they call them, Monster or something like that. They drink a lot of those like very sugary substances. This person also like sleepwalks, okay, but this person also gets up late at night and starts eating things late at night, like ice cream or donuts or like something that they shouldn't. They do it late at night, because I'm hearing a secret lemonade drinker. So it could be Adrian, or Lemon, anybody that's called Lemon, okay? Or they drink a lot of lemons. Lemons. Well, they keep saying that this person, because me, I suffer from sleep apnea, but I don't eat late at night, like I don't get up. Me, once I'm asleep, I'm basically asleep, okay? But like, they're saying that this person here, you or your partner or this person, they get up late at night and they actually go out and they have like sugary like sweets or something like that, or they crave sugar. Crave. John Craven, or Craven's News Round, or like Graves. Something to do with Graves and Graves. The name Graves, or like it's to do with a Scorpio energy. But someone's grave site. They keep saying, I'm going to visit a grave site. So you might be visiting, like I said, a deceased loved one, and you're worried about that, and you're going to actually see and visit their grave site. Or this person's coming to you in their dreams. This person from the grave site is entering your dreams and trying to tell you something, like a deceased loved one is coming into your dreams quite a lot. Like dreams, they keep saying dreams, dream, 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 but dreaming of ice cream as well, like someone's really craving or trying to stop dieting or trying to stop eating sugary substances. But because I keep hearing sugar and spice and all things nice, spice or splice, but like something on splice. Yeah, I don't know what that is, because they keep saying that this person's probably entering your dreams, like entering your dream state. For me, this is just going to be a straight up message about my CPAP. But for some of you, this is going to help you dream, and you're going to start seeing things in your dreams. I mean, me, I don't. I get mine when I'm awake. Like spiritually awoke and also awake, but like yeah, I get mine when I'm awake. So I'm hearing though someone that goes to a wake, like a physical crematorium or something like that, and this person wasn't buried but they were cremated, okay, and they go to visit the crematorium, okay, the crematorium, because they keep saying creme of the creme or creme of the crop. Some of that might be the name crofts, or like weed and stuff like that, and like harvesting a crop, okay. So it might be like lucid dreaming, Lucifer, something to do around a Capricorn, or lucid, or the name Lucy, but like cream of the crop, but he's at the top but worries about being at the top. This is, I tell you what this is also, this is morphine. I'm hearing the maureen or morphine, because I'm hearing that normally here we grow poppies. They're poppies that can grow all over the place. And how you make obviously morphine is that you can cut through the crown, and the crown delivers and deposits a load of liquid. And when you gather that up, that is normally known as, well, how you can make methadone, morphine, all that kind of stuff. So, because I keep picking up the crown, well, that would also have something to do with, like I said, the Queen. So you got like a Capricorn / Gemini person that's probably here, but like the crown. So the crown chakra, they keep saying the crown chakra. So some of you, like you're opened your crown chakra, or you work on your crown chakra, or something like that. You might be meditating, all of those kind of things. But I have a different way of looking at meditation, because I believe it does relax you, but it doesn't move the planet. Okay. So it feels like the crown chakra. But like, I keep hearing the crown jewels. Jules Verne or Julie McCloonan or Jules. Jason, Justin, Jasmine, but Jules. Let's see. Aquarius. Sunny rising Venus, Jupiter, North Node for July. Please stick in there though. I keep thinking everybody's just like clicking off because they don't give me a time to get going. Let's see. Aquarius, Sunny rising Venus, Jupiter, North Node for July. Okay, 6. So there it is. You've got like a Gemini / Capricorn person here on their way. Okay, so it feels like that some of you, it's kind of like you've got this sleep thing going on, sleep study. I keep hearing that some of you are going for a sleep study, or you are investigating something around sleep, or just very interested in sleeping. Some of you, like I said, you just work quite a lot, and you need some rest. But it's rejuvenating because it's depositing positive energy. So I feel like that the news that you're looking for is very positive, and it's very good, and things do start motivating and like coming in. I'm hearing that someone likes motivation speaking and stuff like that, but motivation. I'm also hearing like Motorona as well, Motorrone's disease or something, or Crohn's disease, but Motorola. was hearing Roland Boland, which would be T-Rex. That was his son, believe it or not. I don't know, unless your son stresses you out quite a lot, or your mother, or a Leo energy, or an Aquarian, could be an 8, but like someone stresses you out quite a lot. Okay, I'm hearing my son or my daughter stresses me out a lot. But I don't know, there's good news, because I'm hearing good news on the doorstep. But like bad news, good news, bad news, good news. Is it bad news? Is it good news? Is it bad news? Is it good news? What is it? Does it work? Does it not work? Can you work with me? Do you not? Does he love me? Does he not? Does he? This person also individually, this 9 energy, could be a possible Virgo. Does he love me? Does he love me not? Will he speak to me? Will he speak to me not? And it's to do with the Piscean, like afraid not or afraid so. Like, does he love me? Does he love me not? Does he love me? Does he love me not? What's he doing? When's he coming home? What's he doing? What's, like, man, someone is really thinking that much about a person that they analyse it and think, what are they doing? Where are they? Like, what time are they coming home? Do they love me? Do they love me not? Why do they not love me? Why do they not speak to me? But they do speak to me, but they don't speak to me. But everything's okay. That's what I'm saying. It's like a Gemini or a Capricorn. It's kind of like, it's all right. What are you worried about? Like, no, you're overthinking the situation. Everything's fine. What's the matter? No, but I don't know whether you love me or not, whether you do love me or not, whether you want me or not, whether you don't want me, or like, do I want you or don't you? Or like, fucking hell, man, stop thinking. Someone's thinking a lot here. They're overthinking the whole scenario there. Will they? Won't they? Do they talk to me? Are they not going to talk to me? That could be someone that you're trying to avoid here, Aquarius. Like, you're really trying to avoid that person that overanalyzes and thinks too much. Like, man, you're thinking too much. You're putting too much into it. Like, what's the matter? Because it can lead to paranoia. 9 of Swords can lead to paranoia. Okay, so it can be anybody that's around you that worries a lot, thinks a lot, that makes you think about things you don't really want to. And you're like, well, I don't really want to think about that. You're like, I'm trying to like look forward to the future and like go out and like be happy and everything else that's coming up. Like, I'm looking forward to all of that. How come you're like worried? What are you worried about? Like, yeah, but you said something. It's like, yeah, well, like, don't worry about it. Like, yeah, but I am worried about it. Like, well, you can worry about it all you like, but you're creating a problem that isn't there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a problem that tries to solve it but doesn't solve it, because they're kind of like trying to make a problem that they've got, but they're trying to make it into more than what it is. Like, it's because my response to anybody would be, yeah, but you're making more out of this than what it is. Like, can't you just forget it? Just forget it. That's why you could be dealing with a Gemini or a / Capricorn. But like, well, man, I don't think you could be dealing with someone like me with a Gemini moon. Like, yeah, but I don't think. Like, you're the thinker. You're the one that likes to overanalyze and think things. You're thinking too much. Like, just drop it. Just forget about it. Let's just move on. Okay, let's move in or move away, or just, but not split up, but let's just, move forwards. Like, we don't have to sit in the 9 of Swords all the time. Let's just forget about it and move on. It's like, but this person's really struggling to like not think about something, right? Because they do think a lot, this person. They use their mind in order to be able to try and get over something, but it might be the fact that this person's tired, okay? Because it could be their workload that's tired. Because the energy is good through this Six of Wands. There is progression and there is moving forward, but somebody has to drop the argument, because if there's any like hurt feelings or anything like that, that just creates more paranoia. So, for me as a person, I'm always like, just forget it. Like, stop thinking. Just forget it. Don't worry about it. Drop it. Just, don't think about it. But, that's easy for me to say, but for someone else, it's like, well, I can't just stop thinking about it because, I'm thinking. So it's like, well, you think, right, and then, I'm here. See, Aquarius, Sun, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node 4. Because I'm hearing, well, you don't think of me, you just think of yourself. And that's why I'm coming up against the Piscean. But that's what God teaches you. Right? That's where God will always say, well, as long as you're okay and you're the one that puts yourself first and don't really worry about everybody else, okay? Or is that not right? But like, yeah, well, I'm just thinking of myself. Like, yeah, well, you're selfish. Yeah, well, sorry, but I always put myself first. Like, I always make sure that I'm okay before anybody else, because that's the whole scenario of the plane, right? If you were going to save anybody, you need to make sure that you're okay before anybody else is. Because if you're going to save anybody in life, the only person you can really save is yourself, right? So if you're like on a plane and everybody says, look, you're on a plane, what's the first thing you do? Put the oxygen mask on yourself so you can breathe and then talk to somebody else. Okay, so I don't know if this is about breathing or like advice or something around breathing. Okay, but like in a relationship, I'm picking up that someone does have that same attitude as I do, which is I always put myself first. I'll be the one that saves myself out of any situation. I'll be the one that makes sure that I'm okay first. And if I am, that's when I'm then relaxed enough to stop thinking and thinking, just forget about it. Like, don't overanalyze the situation. You know, there was worse things that happened at war, right? So it's kind of like, well, look, I'm all right. And you're like, yeah, but you always put yourself first in front of me, don't you? Yeah, I do, because I have to make sure that I'm all right. And then when I'm all right, then I can make the whole scenario all right, but you have to stop thinking, right? And that's where this this vibe seems to come from, of where one likes to think a lot and the other one doesn't think about the other one, right, as much as what they want them to, which means that you don't consider me in this dynamic. You always consider yourself as most important over anything else. You always put yourself first. And that's where this dynamic, I don't know what that's leading up to, but I'm hearing you always seem to put yourself first and get what you want and do what you want and not really pay any attention to me. But I'm now thinking about this a lot that's actually now making me feel bad, right? But it's because it's coming from an energy of 9, which can mean like they never seem to get that answer to what they want. Like they can do something in life and they'll think that it's their fault, but it's your fault. And then they'll think about that one thing that happened, that one thing out of 10, they'll always think about that one thing. If that one thing is a negative thing, they'll constantly think negatively and they'll just repetitively play out this, because this could be a life path 9, it could be a Virgo in general in any place whatsoever. But like I said, it can be analytical about oneself, because it could worry about what the other person's doing or not doing, or doing right and not doing. But what this person is doing is concentrating on that one sword that isn't there, that keeps them like, man, I keep doing this over and over again and I keep making mistakes over and over again, but why do I do it? Why do I do it? Why do I always make this mistake? That one thing will stay in this person's head and they'll make a mistake because they think of that one thing. So if they're thinking, man, don't do this, 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 don't make a mistake, don't make a mistake, bam, they make one. And you're like, why did you do that? You're like, well, I can't help it, I'm a 9, I'm a Virgo, I was thinking that I was going to do it and I did. Right? So, it's kind of like that. It's like, well, you do it to yourself then, that's just right. If you do it to yourself, you did it. I can't save you, I can't do anything, you did it. Like, yeah, but you didn't help. It's like, no, because you done it. That's why. This isn't Dr. Clouseau. You did that, right? You did it to yourself. So whatever it is that you did, I can't help you. You done that, right? You done this 9, right? You ended it, you finished it, you overanalyzed it, you thought about it, but whatever mistake it was that you made, you did that yourself, like I didn't, right? So this, because I'm picking up this progressive message. I know there's only 2 cards, Aquarius, but I'm picking up the whole story, right? Mainly, okay, is that, someone thinks a lot about certain things, and then while the other person is like a Gemini person or whatever and thinks, well, I'm just like forgot about it. You're thinking about it. It's like, yeah, well, I forgot about all of that. Like I'm trying not to think. Like I put myself first. If just comes to the point, or justice or Justin, but like if that comes to the concluding part of like a Virgo feeling of 9, and you do this to yourself because you're always thinking negative things, and you think that you're going to make a mistake, and then you do, I can't rectify your mistake. If you made a mistake, I can't rectify that. If you did it, you did it. I mean, I'm so much like my dad in that way. My dad was like that. If you made a mistake, he'd be like, well, just get on with it. And you're like, oh. As a child, I was kind of like, oh, you never. He's like, no, well, fuck, you done it. You done it. If you fell over and you grazed yourself, well, then don't jump off the wall. If you fell through the scaffolding like I did at that point, it was kind of like, you clumsy idiot. Like, why do that? Well, you won't do that again, will you? I had no sympathy for me, but in a way he was right, because it taught me like to make sure that things were safe before I ended up doing it, right? So I learnt the hard way through my father, and I've become my father pretty much, which you do. My father was an Aries, and I have a lot of like that 4 Aries quality, me. I'm kind of like, if y'all make a mistake, that's you that's accountable for the mistake, not me. You'll learn later on in life not to do that, won't you? But I can't give you like support through that because you did it. right? Because it's a little bit like what I'm picking up, like this Inspector Clouseau of like, who done it? Like, who done it? Well, you did it. No, but you didn't pay me any attention. No, because I wasn't looking. Yeah, well, that's not my fault if you weren't looking. Like, I'm not blind, am I? So I didn't know this was coming. Yeah, because this, like, you've done that. Like, so what? So what? Right, is what I keep hearing. Like this Inspector Clouseau of, like, analysing a situation of who done it. But I'm picking up the energy of, like, Tom York. You do it to yourself. If something happens and you do it, then the other person, if they don't pay attention to what someone else did as a mistake, you're like, say if you were at work, for instance, right, and you're at work and you're doing your work and you're playing and doing whatever you're doing, right, and someone else makes a mistake and you look at them and you think, oh, well, you did it, I can't undrop the tray, for instance, right, but I can't, like, do what you did. I can't stop that from happening. I can't reverse time. Okay, it happened. So can't you just drop that? No. Okay, I mean, it could just be a momentary lapse of reason. It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but I think this person individually does think about that one negative thing that happens quite a bit that stops them from getting over it quicker. Do you know what I'm saying? Let's see. Aquarius, Sun rising Venus, Jupiter, North Node for July. So the reason why everything is good. Queen of Wands so far, optimism, looking forward to the future, like good energy, like positive vibes, not negative vibes. So I'm hoping that you give me time and you don't skip through this, because like I said, I have to warm up to the channel, I have to warm up to the reading, I have to warm up to the whole story, okay? But yeah, there's optimism here. There's Sagittarius, Aries or Leo, but there is a complication with a mother for a lot of you. Like, you do have complications with your mother. Your mother stresses you out quite a lot. Okay, this could be that concluding part of what I said to you. I really do feel it, and I do predict things for myself as well. I know for a fact that this CPAP is going to cause a lot of problems because it's left open a discussion of a thing. And I've noticed this so many times that I've actually just like, I've really gathered what that is now. When you think that something is over, okay, you think it's over and you try to, like, avoid a person that much, it can be someone's, like, birthday party, for instance. Spirit will just make it a birthday party. They'll make it Christmas. They'll make it that it's that person's birthday. And you have to, like, connect with the person to give them a present. Or you've had an ex and you have to contact them with a child. Or an object will turn up that will be the main attraction for a person. And then that will get another person interested in reconciliation. It will be something in life that you can't avoid. That will be spirit throwing a tower moment at you, roughly. Because your karma is always about things that you can never avoid. And reconciliation can make you reconciliation of some things that you may never be aware of. And what I've noticed through my journey, a lot of these things that happen, they are things like birthday parties. They are like of an object that turns up and it leads to a person communicating with you about interested in your life again or interested in what that is. But if you've had a very difficult period with a person, that leaves the energy of discussion open to reconcile. Now, if you've got this with a mother or with a partner or someone that always ends up doing the same thing, because they analyse the situation, this object or this project or this thing is a spiritual way of you ending up not being able to do what you can never do, which is run from your karma, right? So when you think, right, I'm not speaking to you, I'm not talking to you because you overanalyze the situation too much, right? Bam, it ends up being the person's birthday party, right? And then you're like, well, you know, are you going to come over and see your mother? Are you going to talk to your mother? You didn't buy me a card. You didn't bother with me, right? So normally a person will buckle under pressure and say, no, okay, I'm going to have to talk to you about this, right? Or something that happens in your life that you end up having to communicate with a person to ask for money, to ask for support, but whichever way it is, you always end up down the same path of what you can't avoid, because some things you miss. Like I said, it can be an object. It is definitely going to happen. I've predicted it for myself. This machine is going to lead open to where I will end up having to, like, communicate, because she will ask me every single day now what is going on with this machine, right? That's here, right? And I know it's like that, right? And that's the way it is. It's leading open for a person to communicate with you and discuss about something. But if you are dealing with, which normally people do, are very controlling people, they can control, the spirit or control your outcome by an object. The object is what spirit is sent in to your vicinity of soul to learn a lesson about another one, about communication, about how you can never really get on. You'll just like, it'll always happen that way, you know, because it's news. That's what I'm saying. This was good news, bad news, 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 right? So it's like good news on the doorstep, but bad news in the future. Do you know? Is really what I'm picking up. Like good news on the doorstep of something that just turned up that made me feel very good. Okay, but bad news is what I'm picking up is for the future of what's going to end up happening. Because nothing that remains good can always remain positive all of the time. Okay, so it can be like a Sagittarius. It can be more like a bipolar-y type sort of 9 Sagittarius. It could be like Virgo. It could be a Sagittarius, which would mean temperance. And that would mean like good news, bad news, good news, bad news, bad news, good news, news, good news, like, you know, that kind of thing. Some of you might be waiting on going to court and you kind of know that there's going to be good news and you're just waiting for that. It's like you're waiting for this thing to start happening, or Stephen, and you're waiting for this thing to start happening to get good news about it, okay? Let's see, Aquarius for July. Yeah, it is good, it is positive. There's only a minor blip here. So the stuff that I was saying through this reading, sometimes, you know, like when I channel, when I speak, I analyse what goes through people's minds because I'm a psychic, okay? So I can analyse what some people go through in their head and how they think and why they think and what they do. Because I analyse each card. I don't skip. I look for the story of the fewer cards that are here, okay? So I'm picking up that individually within this 9, this person does have this way of focusing on that one thing that they do, and then they like look for support, but they may not get it all the time. But it's kind of like that hard knock life lesson type sort of feeling, okay, where someone's quite like not so like forthcoming of forgiving. It's kind of like, well, it's okay, don't worry about it, let's just forget it, let's just drop it. That's my Gemini side, that's my Gemini moon. I'll do that all the time. I'll be like, bruv, I forgot about that yesterday, I forgot about that an hour ago, let's just move on. Let's, you know, move on, feel good, feel positive, everything is good, everything's positive. It's just a minor arcana card. But the trouble is with this energy of 9, this person can start to think, well, that was a major thing for me, and you really didn't see it as like it was major. Because this person's like, no, it's minor. Like, it's a minor thing. Like, it for me, it was very minor. Well, yeah, but that's not for me, it was quite major. But never mind, let's just carry on and move forward, because we've got a lot of things to like look forward to and do. So, you know, a minor thing was a major thing at a point for a person individually, but it's now like, let's just let bygones be bygones and let's just carry on as we are, right? So the energy is good. You do have a good job opportunity coming up here, or a project to work on that seems to be very good through this Ace of Pentacles, but it would be of common interest. It would be someone that has the same common interest as you, because it would have to mean values. It would mean what is offered has to be given back. It has to flow very well when it comes to an Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Because it can be offered to go out, it can be offering to pay, you know, it could be a good job offer, it could be an extra bit of money in your pay packet or something like that, or a donation, or anything it can be. Right, but let's see, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, North Node for July. So 6, you got 6 again, you got like Capricorn, Gemini energies here a lot. You are got moving forward and going out and visiting and staying, but you do have this problem here with the family situation, because it feels like it's being drawn apart, okay? But it is momentarily stuff. It's trying to move forward from negativity and like, look, let's just forget that. Let's just forget it and let's just carry on. But the trouble is, when you have a paradox of energies, of numbers, like 2 6s, for instance, like in my soul group, I have a huge beef, like a lot of you know, with my mother. She's a Gemini, okay? there's 2 6s here. I have a Gemini moon, right? So it relates to your numbering and your people of how you get on with. But like I said, that energy is the same of where this could be my love life, but the energy is coming up also in my family, where the paradox of the number is saying where the mother might be like, oh, well, don't worry, lovey. We forgot about all of that now, aren't we? Let's continue on. And what's going on with your life? And you see, the energy gets relaxed within your karma here. All right. So the progression of the reading is kind of telling me that whatever happened before is going to happen again, but it's more of a relaxed energy at the moment, but it is a progression of something that could well happen again in the future, because it's like this, let's just forgive and forget and just carry on as we are. But if you've got someone in your life like I do, where the energy is very controlled and the environment is very controlled, it can have that energy where it's kind of like, look, let's just forget about all of this, blah, blah, blah. Let's carry on as normal, and then I'm okay now. But if you have a controlling person in your life, you have what I call of like what I have when I have a CPAP moment, which is an episode. Okay, but a narcissist can also have episodes, which means, no, it don't have to be a narcissist. It depends on who you know. But a person that has an episode, you know, 1 minute they're okay, the next minute they're not. 1 minute they're okay, the next minute they're not. And the devil you know is the person that you live with. If you do not live with the person, then it's very difficult to know the person. Thick and thin, within, without. Okay, like a lot of people, for instance. Okay, here, very, very difficult. Friends of the person, brilliant, absolutely flawless as a friend. Absolutely flawless as a friend. Live with the person. Woo! Holy shit! Right? As I'm saying, a person in life can come up as something, but when you live with them and you spend a lot of time with them, living with them, that makes the energy very difficult, because that's where you really get to know someone, is where their true colour shine, is when you're living there. Okay, so a person in life can be very controlling, okay, to a person when you're living with them, but when you're not, okay, and you've kind of got like here, and they've got friends, they don't appear up as controlling at all. They really don't really appear up as controlling. But when you live there, when you're actually in that scenario, that person can be really controlling, because you'll see how their temperament is when you're with them a lot. Okay, so you kind of got those energies that seem to be coming up. But at the moment, everything seems to be good. You seem to be moving forward on projects. You seem to be traveling backwards and forwards to work quite a lot, probably looking for some time off. Okay, things are relaxing, going out with your partner if you're in partnership, going out. Okay, and things really working out. Okay, so we're going to go on with the rest of your reading. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. If you want to join, you can. It's on Patron. This is on both tiers, first tier and the full access bundle. Obviously, if you're part of the channel, you'll know that if you're on the full access bundle, you'll get a lot of readings when we do a you versus them. We do the weeklies, channeled if there is any, or whatever it is that I do. Some of them, it may even be whether you versus them is only over on Patreon. I haven't decided yet, because I haven't done the weeklies. I'm only finishing the monthlies. But you have to basically be with the channel for quite a while to know how I change things up. But if you're on the full access bundle, you get access to this and the weeklies and everything else. If you're on the monthly, this is just where you get the monthly, but it's on both. Okay, you can find all the video below that explains everything. You can find all videos to everything that you want is provided below, and also emails for personal readings, all that kind of stuff. But or to also Patreon. Okay, all right, guys. Thanks very much, Aquarius. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you soon.